Amanda,
Yes.
do you like strawberry shortcake?
I love strawberry shortcake.
Do you have a preference of what your shortcake is? Because it's been divisive apparently. Before we get started, it's because I've heard a lot of folks like the pound cake.
Okay.
A lot of folks like the angel food cake.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of opinions out here. I've had a lot of divisive opinions.
I love all forms of strawberry
That's
shortcake.
good. That's a good way to be.
I will do whatever you give me, and I will be happy.
Perfect. All right. We're 2 minutes after. I think we can go ahead and get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting installment of Cooking by the Books. I, as always, am Stellan Harris. We're joined by the lovely Amanda Showers. Say hello, Amanda.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. And today we are going to be showcasing everyone's favorite, my favorite spring fruit, the humble strawberry. It is getting to that time, that peak strawberry season. You'll start to see some really nice strawberries coming at the farmer's market. And I wanted to give you guys some ways to make good use of those. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen. Amanda's promised not to let me stay shared screen the whole time, but we'll see how that goes.
I'll try my best.
Beautiful. All right. Everyone's seeing the PowerPoint? Beautiful. All right. So, as always, welcome to Cook by the Books, a DBRL culinary program. Tonight's program, we're going to be celebrating the strawberry. We're going to do a strawberry shortcake, and we're going to do a strawberry balsamic salad. It's extra fancy. It's similar to what you might get at like a Panera, but you can make it at home for a fraction of the price. And who doesn't love that? As well as giving general kind of salad tips. I like salads, but until recently I was very bad at making salads. And so I did some research and I learned some things that you guys might also want to know. But for that, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So we're going to get our shortcake started now. We're getting right into it, into the meat of the recipe. There's no meat in this recipe, but it's a turn of phrase. So what you'll need for the shortcakes is on the screen right in front of you. This particular recipe makes 6 shortcakes. These shortcakes, as I was discussing with Amanda, it's not a pound cake. These are shortcakes in the classical sense. They're very similar to a cream biscuit. If you've ever had those, very tasty. My grandmother made very good biscuits. And I've tried to channel some of that tonight, but I'm going to put our biscuits together in a food processor. You do not need a food processor. It makes it faster. You absolutely don't need it. You can use a bowl and a fork with some persistence, and you'll get it done just as well. So the only thing the food processor does is reduce the mess and make it go a bit faster. But you don't need this fancy equipment. I have one, so I'm going to use it. You don't need it. But there's our ingredients for the shortcake. And for these strawberries and, of course, cream. Everyone loves strawberries and cream, berries and cream. It's classic. Say I'm using about a quart of strawberries, maybe a little more because I like strawberries and I have my strawberries laying around. But use what you have. Buy some strawberries if you happen to have a bunch of strawberries laying around. Adjust the recipe to your will. If you like your shortcake particularly loaded up, then put some more strawberries on there. I'm not going to judge you. Amanda's not going to judge you. No one will judge you. But, so, the way we're going to do this is you'll preheat your oven. That's my little guy right there. You'll add the flour, the baking powder, the salt, and all that good stuff in the bowl. And you're going to mix it briefly. If you're using a bowl, you'll put all that into a bowl and just mix it around. Then one thing you're going to add is 2 hard-boiled egg yolks. Now I know. That's weird. It's a weird ingredient. And the recipe I'm using calls it out specifically is something to use. And it didn't give an explanation, but the best I can kind of figure out is that in this, we want something to kind of bind the biscuits together aside from the butter. But we don't want to add more liquid because that'll change the texture of our biscuits a bit. And we don't want that. So the egg yolks, the hard-boiled egg yolks, are kind of acting as that more of a drier binder kind of thing to it. Then after we get all this mixed up, we'll add our butter. One pro tip, use cold ingredients. The colder your stuff for these biscuits, the better your biscuits will be. That was accidental alliteration there. The better your biscuits will be.
Yes.
But after you get that butter, you'll either process that or you'll chop it up with your fork or knife in the bowl until it's about pea-sized. Then you're going to add your Add 2 cups heavy cream. Mix that until just combined. This is a dough you really don't want to overwork. We want a soft, crumbly biscuit. We don't want to develop any gluten, which means we're going to work this the least amount we need to get it going. And then the recipe that I am citing here recommends chilling every 20 minutes. That's a good thing to do. I'm not going to do that tonight. I've done it in the past in test bakes. It works great. Say if you're in a hurry, the biscuits don't rise quite as much, but they're still delicious. And you'll brush them with some heavy cream, sprinkle on some sugar if you got it, and you'll bake until golden brown and a little bit firm. Say they might go brown a bit before they're actually firm. That's okay. Just give them a poke every now and then when it's supposed to feel like they're firm enough. That's when you take them out. And the strawberries are oh so simple. You put your strawberries in a bowl with some sugar, some lemon zest, put salt. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer half mine to a saucepan. That's that guy over there. I'm going to cook those low and slow until they become kind of jammy, a little bit like a strawberry sauce. And we get some smooth, jammy strawberries. We get those big chunks that have been sort of juicing themselves, been macerating in that sugar and lemon juice, in that lemon zest. Then you finish both with lemon juice, and you put your stuff together. Oh, and whip your cream. But I trust you all. You all can whip cream. If you need whipped cream tutorials, then we can look at that. We can look to that in the future. But for now, I trust you. All right, we're going to get started. All right. So as I mentioned before, I'm using my food processor. This has all the flours, the baking sodas, our leaveners, our salts, all in here already, including my 2 hard-boiled egg yolks. We'll pulse that until it is mixed. I'm going to mute myself briefly because I don't want to assault your ears. That was a couple pulses. Everything is all mixed up. You can barely tell there were egg yolks in there. Now we're going to add in our butter, our cold butter. Just gonna plop them in. We'll process those until they get, like I said, about pea-sized. We'll add in our cream. Boom. Have you made biscuits before?
I have tried once and they turned out okay.
Okay. Okay.
Just okay.
Do you have any idea what might have gone wrong?
I bet we overworked it, if I had to guess.
It's a common kind of instinct because this dough's not going to look like it's come together a whole lot, even when it's done.
Yeah.
So there's things like, no, it's still kind of crumbly. Like, no, that's good. You're good. Okay. I'm going to process our butter now. Mute briefly. That's all it took. Popping that off. It is very crumbly. It's a bit like sand. We got those like little pea-sized lumps of butter. I'm going to add in our cream. These are delicious biscuits. I'm a big fan. I might even prefer these to pound cake. I'll say it.
Yeah.
It's a controversial opinion, but hopefully try these for yourself. You might agree. All right, one last time so I can get this all mixed together. All right, so this is a good time to show you what I mean. This dough only just coming together. I'm gonna scrape it out of here. I don't want to mix it. It's still kind of crumbly. It's coming together fine. I'm gonna turn it onto the sheet pan just because we're using a sheet pan here because in our space, this is the library. We don't have a dedicated kitchen. So I wanted something sanitary that I could use to work this just enough. So we're using a sheet pan tonight. That's all that is, if you were curious. So this is our dough. Even this might be a little too worked. This, you really don't want to overwork it. So you want it to just come together. I think we'll be fine. And if not, then you will have learned from my mistakes. And that's also valuable. So just bringing this together, making sure everything's moistened. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it. I'm just making sure everything's good. It all looks good. Now I'm going to divide this into 6. So as I mentioned before, It makes six biscuits. Blah, 6 biscuits.
Tongue twisters.
Tongue twisters tonight here. So I'm just gonna use a knife. If you have a scoop or something that you use to like make cookie dough, then this also works for those. But because I don't have one, I'm gonna cut the dough into thirds with a very sharp knife so I don't deflate any of that lovely leavening we have. Cut into 3, cut that 3 in half. That makes it. That makes 6. Look at that. My elementary math teacher would be so proud. Say one thing about Stellan, he knows his basic arithmetic. All right, so after we cut these, I'm gonna very gently kind of form them into a ball. And that goes on our tray. We're going to, once again, very gently form them into a ball. Try not to deflate anything on the tray. So another thing you might use in this is if you have a biscuit cutter, you could use those. You want to make sure it's sharp because you don't want to deflate these biscuits too much. So full. Yeah. So I find this recipe very good. It's very quick and it's the kind of thing I don't make for most of the year. It's kind of things that I make in strawberry season because it showcases the strawberries so well. These biscuits you could make for any occasion. You could also make these biscuits with other seasonal fruits. If you want to do like a stone fruit, make some nice peaches, something like that would be nice. Or some blueberries would also be very nice. Love that. Yes. Move my food processor out of here, but these are our biscuits done. I'll move this off to the side. And then, as mentioned, the recipe says to let them chill. I'm not going to do that. I would recommend it at home, but just for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that here. What I am going to do, pat them down a little bit. I'm going to brush them with some heavy cream so they can stay white, nice and golden brown. I left my brush at home. We're going to use a spoon. I was very sad when I realized I didn't have my brush in it. But we persevere for you folks, yes. For all our adoring fans, all the wonderful patrons who have come to join us tonight. I'm just giving you a very cursory brush. You don't want to like soak them. Honestly, what I'm doing is I'm filling up the spoon and dumping it out and just using the remainder on the back in front of the spoon. When a very cursory coating. If you have a pastry brush at home, that's what I would use. Just trying to use it to promote some nice browning. It's the same way that you might use an egg wash if you're familiar. Try to get something shiny. We're not trying to make these biscuits shiny. We're trying to make them nice and golden brown, so the heavy cream does that job for us. Beautiful, and we're done. Now you can garnish these a couple different ways. I recommend a nice chunky sugar. So if you wanted something fancier, you could do that. But I'm going to use some raw cane sugar, some nice turbinado sugar. Has nice big brown crystals to it. Not an ad. We're not sponsored by Private Selection turbinado cane sugar, I promise. I'm going to eyeball this. We don't really need exact measurements here because it's just decoration. If you want them sweeter, add more. If you don't want them as sweet, add less. If you want them a bit salty, you could add some nice big flaky sea salt. That'd be nice. It is all in your power. We're zooming along here. Our biscuits ready for the oven. And again, for our folks at home, I'd recommend maybe chilling these guys for even a couple minutes. It'll be nice because you want to relax that gluten a bit. Make sure that things don't get tough in the oven. But for now, it should be fine. Right. Now I'm going to pop these in the oven. Briefly walk in front of the table. That's right, walking in front of the table. Open our oven, pop these guys in. Our trays are a bit small, they might cook together just a wee bit. That's all right. They'll still be delicious. Even if we're not cooking for the gram tonight, they'll still be good. All right. So the only other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my pan with my strawberries. And these will just go for a while as we talk about another portion of our program. That's right. It's not all strawberry shortcake. Would that it were, would that we could just eat strawberry shortcake, but my doctor keeps telling me I need vegetables. So And strawberries, apparently not a vegetable.
Apparently not.
Shortcake, not a vegetable. I know. Big news. But let's going to head back to our presentation here so we can talk a bit more, both about salads and about some instant questions about this shortcake recipe. So, cover a few quick things to kind of answer some potential questions you might have. What kind of shortcake is this? As I mentioned, shortcake is very broad. I didn't know this before I started looking at this. Amanda, are you aware that why it's a shortcake?
No, I am not.
It has nothing to do with height. I thought it was height for a long time. It's apparently short in the old British meaning of crumbly, like a shortbread cookie.
Oh, okay. That
So
makes sense.
it's that same kind of thing. So a crumbly cake is a shortcake.
Nice.
So it's not actually about how tall it is. Fun fact. Another question, why am I using two kinds of strawberries? Why both my whole macerated boys and the jammy guys? Well, I like something called heterogeneity. We want something that's a little bit different. I want each bite to be slightly different. And I want the experience to be kind of different. So you have the contrast between the nice, juicy whole strawberries and the very smooth kind of strawberry sauce, jammy texture of the cooked strawberries. I think they go together very well, especially with that bit of lemon juice to kind of wake everything up. Delicious. And the question I ask myself, can I do this ahead of time? The answer is largely yes. One thing I would note is that if you make your shortcakes at the point where the dough is done, don't chill them for more than 30 minutes. That long of a chill kind of messes with the way the butter is. We want the butter to melt a bit slowly, but if it's too firm, it'll kind of mess with the texture. But if you bake them ahead of time, these guys will sit for a couple of days and they're pretty easily. The jammy strawberries, you can do those up to like a week in advance if you really want to. So they will keep in the fridge. Yeah. So those are our strawberry shortcake questions. If you have any other further questions, shout them to me in the chat, and I'm happy to answer. But we're going to move on to salads. That's right, salads. Who does not love a salad? Well, a lot of people think they don't like salads. And I'm here to say that I think you do like salad. I think you haven't had the right salad. Salads are a great way to get your vegetables. You get your fruit, your vegetables, all the other goodies covered in nice dressing. It's great. You can have them for dinner. You can have them as a side. They're extremely flexible. But home salads are very, really good. If I get a salad, it's usually I'm out somewhere because for some reason that Panera salad always tastes better than the one at home. I don't know what it is, but it's something about that outdoor salad. But I know what it is. I've learned some secrets, folks. I'm going to share them with you so that you can make your home salads, if not as good as, if not better than Panera, at least as good. Because there are a few tips and a few things that I did before when I was making salads that I would imagine a lot of folks also do. So I have some tips that you might want to do to make your salads a bit better. This segment of our presentation is actually inspired by videos by Ethan Shablowski. He's a food YouTuber, highly recommended, but he sort of codified these. I would recommend looking up his video, 6 beginner salad mistakes. If you want some more in-depth coverage of this, I'm going to be a bit surface area. He gets into almost like some molecular gastronomy stuff. It's even a little bit over my head, but he has a lot of good visual aids. Highly recommend it. But enough of that. Tip number 1, try your salads. I know, pretty obvious. That's what you call salad spinners, right? What's that? You don't have a salad spinner?
I don't.
That's okay. A lot of folks don't. I don't have a salad spinner. But in a salad, you want to make sure that your ingredients are as dry as possible because most dressings are going to be oil-based. And what do oil and water not do, Amanda?
Mix. They
don't mix. So if your ingredients are wet, then all that delicious oily dressing is going to slide right off of your salad. And you're going to have a kind of wet, vaguely dressed salad with a nice pool of dressing on the bottom. And nobody wants that. So be sure to dry your salads. And that it's not just greens, because if you have very wet ingredients, like say tomatoes or anything that's going to give a lot of moisture, you want to make sure that those are as dry as you can get them. A little bit of moisture is unavoidable, but you want them as dry as possible. If you don't have a salad spinner, a good way to dry your salads is to take a clean kitchen towel, put all your greens in there, just shake it around. I know it sounds a bit silly, but quite literally, if I had greens here, put them in here, pull it up, and shake it around. I know it's kind of weird, but it works. I promise. But if you think you're gonna make a lot of salads, invest in a salad spinner. They're pretty inexpensive. So I inherited it from somebody. So go cruise on the garage sales. Pick yourself up the salad spinner of your dreams. But that's enough about the moisture. On to tip number 2. Make your own dressings. I know I might catch some flack for this. I know there are a lot of folks who are cruising down the hidden valley. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to come at ranch, not on camera at least. But I will say there are a lot of benefits to making your own dressings because you can customize them in ways you might not be able to for certain other bottled products. Also, if you make your own dressings, you have a lot more control as to what goes into them. You can tweak them as necessary. You can use what you have at home. You can do all sorts of things you can't with a bottled dressing. Also, making dressings, super easy. Actually, super easy. In fact, we'll make a dressing here in a bit. And so I can show you in real time how easy it is to make a very tasty dressing. Tip number 3, build your salads intentionally. Now, that sounds a bit weird. You might be saying, Stellan, what do you mean? I don't accidentally build salads. I don't wake up and have myself a salad in front of me already. That's not what I mean. What I mean is when you say, I want a salad, even before you start pulling out your greens and all that stuff, think about what you want this salad to be. Is this a side salad for your steak dinner? Is this a quick on-the-go lunch salad? Is this the main meal of your day? And all of those things will impact what goes into your salad and how you build it and how this salad is going to take shape once you know what you want it to be. If you just kind of like, I want a salad, I don't really know what it's going to be. It's like 2 p.m. on a Saturday. Is this dinner? Is this lunch? Is this breakfast? Who knows? That's not a great way to build a salad, but just give yourself a think. Do you plan to have more than this today? Is this something to keep you going until dinner? All that will help you pinpoint, like, well, if it's my dinner, I'm going to want some protein on there. I might want a bit more in there, maybe some croutons, something like that. All those kind of questions you can start to ask yourself that will help guide you toward what salad you want to build. Do you have a question, Amanda?
I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm just absorbing your salad.
Okay. Amanda gave me a look like she was talking, like he was just taken aback by the salad knowledge.
I am. I'm learning so much.
And that's the point. I've learned a lot. I want to share that with you folks. Tip number 4, cut your ingredients smaller. Now, again, disclaimer, unless you're making a wedge salad, that's something different. I'm not going to come with the wedge salad. It's a classic for a reason. I do like a wedge salad, but for your normal everyday salad, salads get a lot better when your extra accoutrement, when your cucumbers, your tomatoes and stuff are pretty uniform and small. Because if your meat are smaller, you can get a little bit more of everything on a bite easier. I've definitely made salads where I'm like, oh, I got my cucumbers, my tomatoes, all that good stuff, my dressing, and there's a giant leaf of lettuce that I'm trying to stab a cherry tomato and it's all over the plate and it's a nightmare. So when you make your salads at home, cut things smaller and make sure things are pretty uniform. That way, you don't have to change your cherry tomatoes all over the plate. It makes your life easier, makes the salad more delicious, and everybody wins. All right. And last but not least, dress your salads generously. One thing and I am guilty of this, is that I long thought like, oh, it's a salad. I only need a little bit of dressing, just a bit, just a whisper of dressing. And I made bad salads with that advice. If you're health conscious, there are ways to avoid this. And this just applies in general. If you have specific dietary needs, of course, do what is best for you. Don't take my advice. But in general things, I think that fall kind of underdressed salads. The reason that you want to dress your salad generously is because the salad is a medium through which the flavors you've infused into it are traveled, or are dispersed. If you have salt and pepper, some spices, some nice flavorful vinegars or oils in your dressing, if you don't get a lot of that, then you're not going to taste as much. Your salad won't be as tasty. And we're here to make tasty salads. I'm here to convince you to make more salads. I know. I've set myself quite a task, but I think we can do it. I think we're good. With these tips in mind, I think we're able to climb that particular mountain. So those are salad tips. How about we put some of that into action? So as I teased you before, we're going to make a salad tonight. We're going to make a spinach balsamic strawberry salad with avocado and walnuts. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't it? And a little bit of red onion, because I like red onion. Add a little bit of bite to the salad. I've pre-chopped things, but I'm going to go a bit slow. So this is our balsamic vinaigrette. It is very simple. The craziest ingredient on there is the balsamic vinegar, and even that's becoming more and more widely available for a reasonable price. I had not experimented much with balsamic before this. I really like it. I think it adds kind of an understated kind of sweet sour note to things. I've not done a balsamic reduction. I hear balsamic reduction is the bomb, but we'll see. Maybe in a future installment, we'll do something with a balsamic reduction. But all you need for the balsamic vinaigrette is 2 tablespoons honey, you need a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, you need some salt, some pepper, you'll need a clove of garlic minced, as tiny as you can get it. Say garlic has a bit of kind of emulsifying power as well, so it'll help that dressing be nice and thick and luxurious. You'll need the balsamic vinegar, and you'll need the olive oil. And that's it. That's all you need. Most of that stuff you might have in your pantry already. You are steps away from a delicious dressing. Now, my instructions are also on there. All you do is you get it into a vessel. You get all your ingredients into a vessel. And there are ways to do it fancy. You could have it in a big bowl. You can whisk it together. I've seen immersion blenders are very good for this. You're making a lot of dressing. Immersion blenders are get you a thicker dressing because they aerate something, they incorporate air into the dressing a bit more. It's very good. I didn't bring my immersion blender because I didn't want to lug it around. And because there's an easier way, you can put it in a container like a jar or a deli container, and you can mix it up. In fact, let's do that right now. That's right. So I have all my ingredients sans oil in here. And so I'm just going to shake it around, do all that. Make sure the lid stays on there. I feel like a bartender in a movie. But so that's all mixed together. Now we're going to add in our oil. Smells very good. This just in. Balsamic smells very good, folks. This is my oil. I'm doing a half batch. So add in my oil. Now, the key that you're looking for emulsion. And are you familiar with emulsions?
I'm familiar with the word.
Okay.
Not for what I'm looking for.
That is fine. So an emulsion, all an emulsion is convincing oil and water to do the thing that they don't like to do. Mm-hmm. In general, emulsions are done with emulsifiers. Common emulsifiers are egg yolks are great. If you're at a hollandaise sauce, that's a nice emulsion. Most vinaigrettes are emulsions. In particular, our emulsifiers this time are that tablespoon of Dijon mustard and a little bit of that garlic. So currently they are separated out. There's a layer of oil and a layer of all that dressing stuff. And I'm going to shake this until those layers disappear. Get my arm worked out for the day. Take a while, but it shouldn't take too long because I'm not making a big volume of dressing. You just want to make sure that whatever you have, whatever your container is nice and firmly lidded. And look at that. Our layers have disappeared. And our dressing is done. And that was, man, how fast was that?
Less than a couple minutes.
Yeah, less than a couple minutes. It was incredibly fast. And that's all you need. And now this dressing is done. You can put this on a salad right now. And we're going to in a sec. But that was easy, fast, and this dressing is delicious. I highly recommend you folks make your own dressings. Because like I said, it's super easy. For more like cream-based or mayonnaise-based dressings, like a ranch, or maybe a Caesar dressing, also very simple. You probably want to blend those, but even that is pretty simple to do.
How long will that keep?
That will keep because we put garlic in it, it's safe to keep it for 3 to 4 days usually. If you don't use garlic, a balsamic vinaigrette can safely keep for weeks. Say, and I'd say if you're not sure after some time, taste it, smell it. Mm-hmm. Say it's without the garlic, there's not a lot in it that's going to go bad quickly. Yeah. So it's pretty stable. You want to keep it in the fridge though. And then after a while, if you want to bust that again, give it another shake, re-emulsify all that good stuff, and you're off to the races. So now that we got our dressing, our delicious dressing, let's talk about our salad. So, as I said, we're making a strawberry balsamic salad. And this is, again, one thing I like to do is I like to give blueprints. I don't always want to fill in all the details for you folks because you're smart consumers. You have your own tastes and preferences, and I want to respect that. So this is a kind of broad and open recipe that you might use. You might adapt this to what you have or to what you like. And so I have 4 cups of greens. I have my strawberries right here, chopped and sitting, not doing a whole lot. I have red onion and my nuts mixed together. The red onion I've cut very small, as for salad tips. I like to have both nuts and something crunchy and like a crunchy vegetable in there to help with things. And of course, we have our avocado for some nice fatty, creamy note to it. And then, of course, our dressing. Oh, and freshly ground black pepper. Pepper mill's over there. Pepper mill's hiding. Beautiful. All right. Check on our strawberries first. How are they doing? Need a bit more power. Getting there. Breaking down a bit slow. It's all right. Check on our biscuits. Ooh, puffing up. It's a crowded tray, but they're doing it. They're doing good. They're not done yet, though. They're still very pale. We want the, as we said, we want them to be golden brown. So let's take our time. We have our ingredients for our salad. If you don't like walnuts, don't use walnuts. Use another of your choice. Almonds are great. Pistachios are great in salads, I think. Peanuts, if that's what you got. That can't talk. The joy of salads is that salads are infinitely customizable. And as long as you have some delicious vegetables, a nice dressing, a nice bit of greens, you have a great salad. This salad scales up pretty well. Just say, I'm doing this. I've done bigger salads that would be 4. If you want even more, you can probably do more. If you want something heftier, add some chicken. Chicken goes great with balsamic. Chicken would pair pretty well with this.
I would.
Yeah, I think chicken's the way to go. One thing I did try in my test phase is I used a bit of like fresh mozzarella cheese. It was very good. So let's make a salad. I know you had reservations going into this, but I'm hopeful that we can move past some of this. So I've got my greens here. This is just spinach. Say it's what I had around. Say the big question with the spinach is, because it's a baby spinach, these stems. I mean, do you like spinach stems?
I don't mind them.
Say I'm hot and cold on them. Some days I like them, some days I don't. So I think they do add a distinct textural note. If you didn't want something like that, you could use a whole number of things. Arugula would be great here. We have baby lettuce, like a baby gem lettuce would be great. Whatever you like. But that's our greens, and of course. So what I'm going to do is I've got my onions and my nuts here. These are going in here. Everything's pretty dry. The onions aren't too wet. Strawberries going in. Beautiful. Observe that bit of juice there going in there. Wipe off the spoon to get that nice avocado out. I feel very stereotypical just adding avocado to things.
Makes everything better.
It does make so much things better. This is why I'll never buy a house. All these avocados in my recipes, that's all right. Thankfully, the library is helping me. Ooh, our strawberries are boiling. We love to hear that. They're gonna simmer down. Beautiful. All right. So all this is mixed together. That's all we need to do right now. One thing I am going to do for these strawberries while I'm thinking about it. This is not salad. This is for our macerated strawberries for our shortcakes. I'm going to go ahead and add some lemon juice to wake these guys up a little bit. This is just a seedless lemon. to make my life easier so I don't accidentally get seeds in here. I didn't have a seedless lemon during the test run, and things got a little bit seedy. Things weren't so great. Some more lemon juice here. Beautiful. All right, so lemon juice added. See if I want some more later. That lid can go back on. This guy's a shake. The thing I love about macerating strawberries, Amanda, this juice they make. The juice is the best part. Half the reason I'm doing these jammy strawberries is to get some of that good strawberry juice. Beautiful. All right, back to our salad. Gotta eat your vegetables if you want dessert. My mother was so proud.
Yes.
Eating vegetables before dessert as an adult. My kid self, however, would be ashamed of me that I'm not just eating dessert constantly. But what does he know? He's a dumb kid. All right, so I'm going to dress the salad. Amanda, would you bring me one of those plastic forks?
Sure.
I realize I need a second implement if I'm going to toss the salad. First, I'm going to add deliciously thick. I'm going to show them how thick this dressing is first. It has come together like nothing. So this is drizzle. It's a thick dressing. Smells great, and there are no thickeners in there aside from maybe the mustard. It's beautiful. So, as I said, in our salad tips, we want to dress the salad generously. I'm going to start with a couple tablespoons. We'll see how things go. And if I think it needs more, I'll add more dressing. This is my salad. Mix things around. Make sure all that good stuff doesn't sink to the bottom. It's all right if your avocado smears a bit. That's also good. This is looking pretty nice. I love the green spinach. I'm a big proponent of color in food. I think presentation is very nice. I've never been one to chef smear, but I think that having colorful food is nice to eat with your eyes as well as everything else. This is good, I think. We're pretty well coated, but I'm going to practice what I preach, Amanda. I'm going to add a little bit more dressing.
I think that's wise.
Just a little bit. Just to make sure we've got plenty of that good balsamic flavor. Give it one more toss. Amanda, have you had strawberries and balsamic before?
I have, yeah.
Yes.
It's a very good combination.
It's a very good combination. That combination was part of the reason I decided to use this salad. Originally I did use like I said, that mozzarella, and the flavor was good. I wasn't happy with the texture. It didn't hold up as well as I wanted it to, just because of the kind of mozzarella I got. So I swapped to avocado, and the avocado was a great substitution. All right, that's our salad pretty much done. Checking our strawberries. They're cooking down. Oh, these will be done very soon. Check on our biscuits. Oh, they're starting to get golden brown. This is perfect. All right, making good time, folks. But since our salad is done first, we'll look at that first. And then hopefully, with any luck, our shortcakes will be done pretty soon as well. And if not, don't you worry, folks. I made some beforehand, just like good old Rachel Ray would have done. Although I don't have the TV magic to reach under my table and pull out a whole chicken. I can't do that. Not yet. I'm still working on it, folks. Bear with me. This time next year, who knows? All right. Now comes Amanda's favorite part.
It is my favorite part.
All right. Yep. So we want a nice salad. So that portion, everything is nicely dressed. There's still a whole other salad in there. Serves two. Be closer to the camera, give you guys a close-up of this delicious salad. Look at that. Everything nice and dressed. Those beautiful strawberries. Beautiful. All right. All right, Amanda.
All right, here we go.
I'm handing off the salad, Amanda. And be kind. Don't crush my hopes too much.
Super good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that dressing.
It's a very good dressing. It's super simple. So you guys saw me make it. It took no time at all.
That's excellent.
And that recipe is going to be eaten on that for a while. So, but in the meantime, so this recipe is super simple. You can customize it that you have. If you don't feel like dealing with spinach, buy a bagged salad lettuce. Do something like that. Buy a salad mix you like. Make sure it's dry though. Those bags, they're full of water. A lot of water in those bagged salads. So take that kitchen towel, whip it around, whip your salad back and forth, as they say, as the kids say. But no, you just want to make sure that your salad's nice and dry. And I think we're nearing done with these guys too. Yeah, they're pretty broken down. So I'm going to move my salad off to the side. As my culinary instructor would say, mise en place, clean as you go. Don't leave everything around, otherwise at the end, you have to clean so much. But I think we're approaching time, folks. I've got my strawberries on both ends. These guys might take a little bit, but we did prepare in advance. So let's assemble. This guy was made not an hour ago. It's still fresh, I promise. I'm going to turn my back to it. Excuse me, folks. I've been walking around all day. There's one thing we have to do before this, though. Gonna whip our cream. Now, normally, you do this in a nice big bowl. I forgot my nice big bowl at home, but we adapt here at the library. We overcome obstacles. So I've got my mixer here. I've got my deli container full of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to whip that very quickly. It should not take too much time at all. And this is another one of those loud noises. So be back in just a second. One thing I love about fresh whipped cream is that it's very fast. This cream is half whipped already. Amanda, could you bring me that powdered sugar?
Okay.
I want a bit of sweetness in this whipped cream. Not too much sweetness though. We don't want to overdo things. We already have it's very sweet fillings to our shortcakes. Doing something so it's not quite as raw a cream taste. So this nice powdered sugar is full. Except while I've got you, we're going to take these strawberries off. These are done. I'm not gonna cook these guys any longer. I can show you what they look like. So they are basically a jam at this point. They're nice and jammy, nice and shiny too. All that sugar that's cooked down. Nice strawberry sauce. Strawberries are a lot softer than our other ones will be. So you'll get that nice textural contrast. And we'll let these boys chill out. And one last mute to get our cream whipped, and then we'll be ready for assembly. All right, I'm back, folks. This cream is just barely whipped. I know, controversial. You could whip it longer if you wanted. I don't think we need to. I think we're already going to have stuff. If you want another textual contrast, I know we're all about textual contrast here. And in fact, actually, before I do this, Amanda, could you wash this for me real quick? We're going to talk about textual contrasts. But this cream here, it's thickened slightly. Where'd my fork go? Grab a fork for this. Off camera briefing. Don't worry, folks. So it's kind of thickened cream. You could whip this more if you wanted to. I'm personally fine with this because it's going to kind of soak and mix a little bit with our strawberry juices in a way I really love. But I think it's perfect for assembly. So beautiful. Thank you, Amanda. So what we're going to do for assembly, I'm going to be very careful. It's a very delicate operation. These are very delicate biscuits.
And your delicate hands.
And my delicate hands. Don't cut yourself doing this. Safety at home. Don't do that. But cut through and put it into 2 parts. Place the bottom half in there. We're going to go in with some of our normal macerated strawberries, finished with lemon juice. We're going to get some of those on there. Beautiful. As much as you like. In fact, we'll do a little bit more. Not too much, because we got more strawberries coming. So we have our jammy strawberries. These guys here, incredibly soft. Give these guys a little mix around. Oh yeah. These are still very warm, so pile a little bit of these on here. It's not too much though. So amazing. So folks, I'll show you. This is what it looks like before I add the cream. Got the whole strawberries here, the jam right there, kind of oozing out, being delicious. I'm gonna add some of our loose cream, just drizzled around. So good. And then let's add our topper. So, folks, we'll do one last look before Amanda passes judgment. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Shaded from these harsh fluorescent lights. Beautiful. All right, Amanda.
The moment of truth.
The moment of truth, folks.
All right.
All right. Drum roll, please.
10 out of 10.
Hey, beautiful.
So good.
We did it, folks. Send them home happy. So, in fact, let me take our fresh guys out of the oven so I can show you what they look like. I think these might actually be done, which might be perfect time. Careful, don't burn yourself. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That is perfect time. So these guys are done. Like I said, golden brown, no longer pale, and a bit firm to the touch is how you'll know. And folks, that is leading us up toward the end of another exciting episode of Cooking by the Books. I want to, as always, thank you for joining us. We hope that you have enjoyed our program, that you've learned some new tips and tricks to try in your own kitchen. The recording of this program should be up on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/dbrlorg. In the near future. Usually takes a couple days, at most like a week or so for our folks to get that up, but then it will be up there for all time for you to enjoy. And we hope that you will come join us in future episodes. Thank you all for coming. Get out of here real quick. Thank you all for coming. I hope you try these at home. I hope you're able to take some of these tips into your own cooking lives and that you make delicious food. All right. Say goodbye, Amanda.
Goodbye, everybody.
All right. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Take care.